Hello, my name is Daniela Uria. Here is my student ID, and my student code is 00116950. I'm going to talk about prescription drugs. As we know, prescription drugs are medicines that our doctors are giving us in order to heal our pain, our back pain, headaches, stomach aches, and physical pain. There are also prescription drugs that are more serious and more harmful that are prescribed to children, for example, with ADHD, people with depression, people with anxiety, and they have to have a prescription. The problem with these drugs is that people and our society don't know that they are harmful, and they can provoke addiction. In spite of the fact that they are helping the people to heal their emotional and physical pain, they are also damaging our bodies and our emotions in a long term. I personally think that prescription drugs are very good when you need, when for the moment that you need them. But if you don't control the way you use them, it can lead you to an addiction. So right now I'm going to present three important factors that I think that that show how prescription drugs are harmful for us and for our society. First of all, they cause addiction. In order to explain this, I will make an example. For example, people that are having an operation are administered morphine or methadone in order not to feel pain after the operation. The problem is that when they end the operation, they will have 2 or 3 weeks of back pain or bone pain, but after that they will continue to be administered with these high dosages of morphine. The problem of this is that people start getting used to the high that morphine provokes in our body. And in the future, when they will not have anymore their bone pain or the operation pain, they will need the morphine in order to feel good. This happens also with prescription drugs like painkillers, benzodiazepines, things that are helping us to maintain our physical pain down. For example, pills that are to heal our headaches. They are also addicted if you can't control the amount that you take them. Furthermore, the cost of these medicines are extremely high. People are spending millions of dollars each year and thousands of dollars each month or even weekly to maintain their habit. I mean, for example, normally a dose of heroin or crack or meth in the street will cost you way less than a dose of morphine. We can compare these two drugs because morphine and heroin are basically the same. They are two opiates and they are helped to release pain. They are depressors of our central nervous system, and that's why chemically they are practically the same, and they produce the same high in people. The difference is that morphine costs 10 times more than heroin. And the problem comes here. When people start getting high with morphine in the hospital, and then they can't maintain their habit, and they can't obtain a prescription from a doctor to have morphine again, they will go to heroin. It sounds extreme, but there has been thousands of documented cases of people that go through this process, and that's why we can say that prescription drugs, painkillers, and benzodiazepines that are legal in all the parts of the world are gateway drugs to the illicit drugs like heroin and crack and cocaine. And third argument that I think that is very important is that people think that these drugs are harmless. People think that taking a lot of painkillers or taking a lot of pills for headaches or benzodiazepines for anxiety or for depressions are not harmful. The problem comes here. These drugs are very harmful. They produce the same effects in your brain and in your body as an illicit drug will produce. There is a difference. I know that in spite of the fact that these drugs are made in a fabric, in a pharmaceutical, they are not less harmful than the other ones. The other ones have more chemicals from the streets, but in a long-term consequences, they are causing the same to your brain. And that is a big problem because people are not realizing. And as a solution for this, I think that governments should establish some rules about prescription drugs. I think that they should talk to the doctors and establish rules about how they are prescribing these drugs to the people. Also, I think that in our country, pharmaceuticals are not administrating well these prescription drugs because you can go and buy painkillers free and benzodiazepines too. In Ecuador, you can do that freely, and that is not healthy because people are getting addicted to this type of medicines. I think that the government should establish policies in order to control pharmacies and how they are selling this type of products. However, they should not prohibit the consumption because it will provoke a black market, a new black market, and that will affect the economy and the politics of our country even more. And as a conclusion, I could say that there are three main factors that can explain us how prescription drugs are very harmful for us and are dangerous. They cost people millions of dollars each year. They are really expensive. They can cause addiction. And thirdly, people think they are harmless and people don't know how to take care and make a good use of this type of medicines. And people should start being more conscious about how they use this type of medicines, how they consume this type of medicines, and also they should talk always to their doctors and not only take this kind of medicines because at the end they are also drugs that are harming our brain and our body the same way that an illicit drug would do. And I personally think as a conclusion that people should be very conscious about what these drugs are, and we should start taking a lot of control and measure ourselves when we start taking this kind of pills. Thank you very much.